Okay, folks, welcome back. We'll see who joins us tonight. And hopefully we can stay awake and not falling asleep like the last two sessions I had on Sunday. So we've been messing it with a photo etch slowly because I haven't had a lot of time. Been kind of busy, but why do you always have this notification? The computer's been on for a long time, and now I get a notification to restart to install the latest Windows options, updates. Yeah, we're not doing that now. Sorry, you should have told me earlier. Yeah, so we've been messing with photo etch sprue, which is really nice, the little leftover pieces that you have. And I really don't have a problem with photo etch because it's durable enough that you're not going to bend it on accident. So I went ahead and glued the hatches. Hey Barnes, I went ahead and glued these hatches vertically, I think on Sunday. But there's no little latch there that holds it in place. So instead of cutting that out of plastic, I just figured, well, I've got all this sprue laying around, this brass material or whatever the heck it is. So, hey, Nordic, I just figured, well, let's go ahead and just use that for it. So, yeah, we've got the hatches on the two KV2s all in place. These guys are basically ready to paint. I'm going to do the same thing with the KV2, and then we're going to roll into what we're planning on doing tonight, which is working on some Soviet aircraft guns from Zvezda. Maybe we'll get to both of them. If not, maybe we'll only get to one. Not all photo etch is durable. Some are very fiddly and easily broken. Yes, but it's got to be better than those silly-ass antennas that's made out of brittle plastic. I haven't had a bad photo etch experience yet. So, yet. Okay, so here's the KV2, and its hatch opens to the side. Now we just got to find one of these with the hatch in here. Leftover hatch piece. You know what? We'll leave that for in the morning. I can do that in the morning. Let's do the anti-aircraft guns, which is what we talked about. And the two anti-aircraft guns we're talking about is the 37 millimeter, which I have encountered many times while playing whatever the hell it's called. Hell Freezeth Over Ostfront. Whatever. I can never remember what the hell the name of that game is. I've encountered these things a lot. And the big nasty, the 85 mil. So I'm going to go grab an adult beverage. Why don't you guys vote on which one you want me to do first? And I'll be right back. There we go. Yeah, if I don't mute it, as soon as I open the door, the girls are watching a movie, and I end up getting in trouble with Facebook for YouTube for having a theme song of something on, even though it can be barely heard. Why are those my only two choices? I don't want to do an interior on any vehicle. The only way I'm doing an interior on a vehicle is if I'm doing like an M10, Nashorn, Hummel, something open top. So, yeah, I didn't say anything important. It's not muted now. Are we having technical difficulties? Because I'll just do this not online. I've dealt with nonsense all day long. Yeah, if I don't leave the room when I mute, it's going to pick up songs. It's going to pick up the whatever's on the TV, and then I get into trouble. You know, not because it's inappropriate, but just because it's copyright infringement. Do the big one? All right. Sounds like somebody's trying to overcompensate for something. I was leaning towards doing this one anyways. I vote for both kits. We're going to do both of them. I hope I can do them both tonight. Well, it comes with, and I've already done an unboxing on this, by the way. I'm actually enjoying the way I'm doing it. I will do the unboxing the first half and just leave it alone. I won't put the video out until I've got something to show for how it was built and what the issues with it are and what have you. But I already did an unboxing on this. This is for the Art of Tactic. It comes with this silly-ass card for whatever they play in Russia. And I just could look at this card and I'm like, this is lame and way too basic for me anyways. That makes Flames of War seem like a PhD dissertation. Now, one thing that's cool about this is it gives you two different versions. It gives you two different versions that you can make, one on the base and then one without the base. I'm not putting it on the base. I don't plan on having any of my guns mounted. That's just so you can put them somewhere that maybe the base doesn't fit, you know. So I plan on building it without the base. Even though it is kind of nice that there's a couple of empty shell casings there. But, all right, we're going to need super readers for this. I don't want to take my contacts out for this. But so far the photo etch hasn't been bad. I just don't like super glue of any kind. I just don't. I don't. So I did glue it with some really thin, really small amount of epoxy. And I'm really comfortable with the epoxy. All right. Gonna do a winter base for the guns? No. No, I'm going to do winter stuff when I get around to it. I'm pretty sure I'll do North Africa before I do winter. Winter, you have to start over again, you know? And I'm not necessarily building these specifically to play with, but it's nice to have that option. All right, let's see. Freaking wire entanglements and shit. All right, what do we got to do with this? We got to flip this twice. We got to go boom, boom. Okay, and then we have to flip this one once. Okay. I'm looking at this writing. It's still backwards. No, it's Russian. That's how it's supposed to look. Lame and basic covers bolt action, Flames of War. I have never played bolt action. I suspect that I would like it less than Flames of War. I suspect I would. Well, first of all, I don't like 28 millimeter. So I'm out. That's out. I would do 15, but not now. I mean, it's too late, you know. When I was doing World War, you know, the whole reason I did this scale is because, you know, I'm comfortable with it from childhood, and my favorite sculptor made a bunch of figures for it, you know. Okay, so folding not. Good Lord, what happened to this? Is this even cut evenly? All right. And do we have a piece of sandpaper? A good piece of sandpaper, active. No, but we're going to cut one. Yeah, I don't think... Bolt action's not made for me. Neither one of those two things are really geared for me. You know, I played Advanced Squad Leader for a while. I think it's too generic. How could you say that? Because I played it for a long time. I played, I don't know, hundreds of games of it. Bolt action has one good thing for it. Random activation draw, okay? But when you have the random activation, do you get to pick who you move? Or it's whoever you want on whatever side? The random activation draw is slow, but it eliminates opportunity fire, which is really what I think really kind of breaks a game. I really think it kind of breaks a game. Okay, so the first thing you got to get is the big cannon. They don't waste any time. Okay, here's the 85 millimeter cannon. And then we got piece A19. Yeah, the problem with skirmish games is people think, oh, that's a skirmish game. I'm running a platoon, or I'm running a company. You're making all kinds of decisions you shouldn't be making. Get some friends and play more of you on the side. You get to pick which unit you activate. No, yeah. Mine's even more anal retentive. You don't get to pick who it is. But that's the fun part of it. Or I think it's fun anyways. Might be frustrating for some people, but... You know, the same rules apply to your opponent. So it's not like just you're getting screwed. Both of you guys are getting screwed. I've played those other games before. They're just kind of unsatisfying. Okay, A21. Well, I don't see it here. One thing I am a little concerned about is I don't know how the top and the bottom are going to go together. Is I definitely want this thing to be able to be rotatable. 22, 21. Here's a little hand wheel. So I don't know if I have to put a magnet on there, but I think we're going to, if we have to get to a point where you have to glue the top to the bottom, we're going to skip that step. A25 should be here. And A19, A18. Okay, that's all the pieces for step 1. Most miniature games are unsatisfying. Maybe now. You know, when I grew up, there was no such thing as you made miniatures and rules. And now it seems like what everybody does. Oh, we have a new range coming out of miniatures, and we got rules for them. Like, I'm already happy with what I'm playing. Why do I got to play your rules? And the problem with that is it adds a conflict of interest. It adds a conflict of interest to, you know, oh, we're not selling enough some things or others. Well, let's change the rules. Let's modify them to... I mean, maybe that's not why they do it, but it's suspect. I'm not worried about that stuff. I'm not worried about tournaments or what other people play, or I'm going to run a tournament and nobody showed up, all that kind of crap. That's That's for the birds. Somebody else can do that. Hey, Mr. Studio, welcome back. Man, I needed you on Sunday. I was dying on Sunday. I was dying of falling asleep. All right. This one just got superseded. I had such a hard time staying awake on Sunday. I didn't get much sleep this last weekend, and I was ready for the wife to get back. Just ready to get back into routine. John Peter, welcome back. Man, long time. Almost like you got deported. Now you're out doing your tours. Hopefully that's going well. Got some pieces here that are suspect what they really are trying to represent. Sometimes it's hard to tell what's flash and what isn't. These are the recuperators, and they should be the same length on both sides. That stands to reason they would be. That would be all we need to take off of them right there. We're building a couple. We're building an 85 millimeter Soviet and aircraft gun. Oh, I forgot to switch the camera. From Zvezda, a Russian company, which is why we're drinking vodka, sipping on vodka. You just spent 79 days in North America. Welcome to my world. Just 79? Noob. You have to deal with any of that smoke? I assume that you went to Canada. "79 days in North America. Welcome to my world." It was mild. The weather was mild today. It only felt like 115. The thing I look forward to more than anything else is just coming home, taking a shower, and changing my clothes. Just get me out of this. That's right, on the air, baby. You know it. Man, I really struggled a couple of days ago with just trying to stay awake. I wasn't getting good interaction between the people that were there. It's okay. I was tired. I ended up leaving to take a nap. I napped for about 45 minutes, woke up, couldn't go back to sleep. Weird. Almost like I was popping a lot of coffee or something, but that wasn't the case. Well, I'm not trying to get into anything too deep. You know, our house goes on the market tomorrow, supposedly. We'll see if. So I don't want to. We put everything away, you know, so people can come take a look at the house. And I don't really want to take everything back apart. I haven't airbrushed or anything, and I'm not. That's why I'm just kind of building stuff, just to kind of. I'm on idle mode just to see if something happens. So. We will see. If we move, the other location will be even better for you guys. But we got to move. Now I have 3 toys. They're all the same. Some memory match game. Fries exchanged for slaw. So you had a meal. I was trying to make heads or tails. You had a meal that came with fries and you wanted slaw on it. They absolutely refused. Oh yeah, some restaurant I never heard of before. Well, we haven't moved yet. My place is gonna suck compared to your downstairs dungeon of sequestering. Rick's dungeon of sequestering. I didn't realize you had a sliding glass door at the bottom level. I'd be concerned about somebody breaking that and going in and like, what's all this nerd shit? There's a guy that I know, a couple guys that I know, they were visiting from Australia. They came in to a convention in 2009. And I hadn't met them before until I saw them in 2009, but I interacted with them a lot on the forums, on the DBA forums. And they both came and traveled and came to Historicon. The last time it was held at Lancaster after it left for a while. And then he proceeded to go to New York to go on a tour. Do New York-y things in New York. And one of them had all his miniatures that he brought with him stolen. And, the sad thing is whoever took them probably doesn't give a shit about them. They're probably in a dumpster somewhere. They're probably, what's this nerdy shit? What's this nerdy crap? Probably looking for something totally different than one they got. So they probably just dumped this figure somewhere. The only place on earth with words dungeon and fun in the name, and neither is true in this case. Well, I don't know about that. I've played a few games that are fun and involve nobody dying. I did watch a demo of a game that was really cool. And it's a solo game. And I watched about half of it before I had to go to work. And it was called Final Girl. And it's like a solo game that you end up playing the final girl in a murder or whatever. And you can play different characters. It looked pretty interesting. I didn't finish watching all the gameplay, but the way the game looks, I'm not anti-board game in any way, unless the board game looks like shit. Okay, if the board game looks like shit, I'm out. Catan, I don't care how good you think Catan is. It looks like I took my contacts out and I morphed into a freaking bee. That's what the freaking board looks like. It's just not unattractive to look at. I'd break in only to Rick and force him to play games. Yeah. So we'll see. I try not to get too excited about it because we haven't moved. The only reason that we're really moving is got a couple situations that are cropping up in our neighborhood that are not fixable. With neighbors that like don't want to take care of their property at all, and they're going to drive ours down. And that's an issue, and we have an opportunity. We had an opportunity of somebody that we know to assume a mortgage at an extremely low interest rate, which we'll never see again. So, but we'll see if it happens. If not, it's not like I dislike this house. It has issues, and I don't mean this area because I still have other than Rick. I have one of the nicest work areas that I've seen. I've seen nicer ones on Facebook, but I'm wondering if they're really true. But I really got nothing to complain about here. But it's just kind of an opportunity. We've been here 20 years, so house is getting to the point where it's going to need. We don't want to put more money into it, but we'll just see how the cards lay. Luckily, we've got somewhere that we do like to live, but we just kind of had an opportunity, so. We'll just see how it goes. But I don't want to start pulling a bunch of stuff out and then have to pack it back up again. Because a lot of the stuff that we're having is probably not going to go over to the new house. We've had hand-me-down stuff for a long time. Really have never bought furniture for the house, which is really expensive if you think about it. We got bedroom furniture and a bookcase here or a thing over there, but all in all, really haven't done that. So it's going to be kind of a new thing to kind of do. But I've seen the work area that I'm going to get. It has one bad thing, and it has a lot of good things. And the one bad thing is that the sound in there, the soundproofing isn't great. But the work area is incredible because it's like it's long. I think it's like 8 feet wide or 7 feet wide and like 14 feet long or something like that. And it's like perfect to put two of these tables, or maybe even a third one. So we'll see. We'll see how it works out. But that's why I kind of put everything away and I'm not finishing stuff. I'm just kind of hanging out. Even though that decision would probably still be a couple months away. You know, we really enjoy putting everything away and like living kind of a minimalist, so to speak. It's nice to not have clutter. I've been to other people's houses. You take your keys out and you lay them somewhere on the counter. Then when it's time to leave, you can't find them because there's so much stuff. You have to be like, okay, it's not behind that. That's not it either. You know, you're constantly like being distracted, and it's like, yeah, it's just too much chaos for me. Okay, we're gonna have to drill this bastard out. Something to eat. You're always eating. You need somebody to cook for you. You spend too much time cooking. Go find your good woman or a man to cook for you. But not Rick, because Rick's even worse than I am. Actually, I make that sound like it's a bad thing. We choose not to waste our time cooking shit. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, this one's too big. Way too big. You like that, right? You can't be cooking and then explaining rules to people. Come on, man. I can't spend 4 hours on a figure and still have time to, make food and clean up the food. And I'm a fast eater. I really am. It's good and bad. It comes in handy in certain situations, but, unless I'm like at a restaurant, I'm usually done eating in about under 15 minutes for sure. So my wife always says, "Well, I know you don't cook, but what am I supposed to eat?" I said, I can assemble a mean salad." Which is true, but she could do even a better one. Cooking's definitely something that's she excels at a lot better than I do. Let's go up to this size. We don't need it to be deep. We just need it to go evenly all the way around. There we go. Yeah, when I was doing 1/35 scale models, I don't think I had a pin vise. It's freaking 19 years old and poor. No car. Okay, these two pieces go in here. going to attach along the top end here. Okay, this attaches the back of that. Does that attach to... It does. Okay, we can safely attach that. If anything, we can always glue a magnet to this and put a magnet on the other part. Welcome back, Kevin. Welcome, welcome. All right. Oh, Kevin's here. Drink. I don't know if I'm going to glue this gun in place. I may make it so it's optional and be up in the air. Like it just don't care. Oh, it's on there pretty tight. That's good. That's a good sign. Welcome back, Kevin. Now you can tell us the punchline. Oh, this isn't... Oh, it won't go more. There we go. You got to be able to direct fire this bastard. All right, we'll leave it like that for now. Okay, we're going to have to drill. Boy, these... Oh, those peg... Those are the pegs. Oh, that's absurdly small. That's absurdly small. That can't be right. It's not. It's these pegs here. Don't even have to be glued in. All right, we won't. Good morning. All I can see in the main camera is a glass of vodka. Very concerning. Yeah, it's actually a third of a shot, but I'm doing Russian stuff. It's funny, the other night, on Friday night, I did something I'd not done in 30 years, and I went to a happy hour with people at work. I'd never done that before. And I had 3 beers over 5 hours. And it took me a while to leave because I couldn't drive, but I can have a liquor and I'm fine. I mean, obviously not 24 ounces of it, but no biggie. I didn't have any plans. Yeah, glass of vodka's a shot glass. You know, if I was doing Brits, I'd do gin, you know. Okay. That's those pieces. That's there. This piece is here. Good morning. It's not morning over, is it? I guess it is. Barely. Jack's playing Night Owl over in the UK. And meanwhile, I can't ever stay past 10. I'm worthless after 10 p.m. Why did they even give you pegs to put this in? I'm about to cut them off and just glue the piece on there. It's like it's not welded in there. Yep. Nothing. You're right. There isn't anything wrong with the gin and tonic. That was my drink of choice for a long time. At my wedding, I had 11 of them. You know, over a long time, and had no hangover the next day. Nothing wrong with a gin and tonic. Absolutely not. Or a gin neat too. That's an acquired taste. I haven't been able to do that until like now. So the story of straight vodka is I go to the convention, the last one we go to, and we had just gone out to dinner, and I had 2 or 3 beers, and I wasn't driving because otherwise we'd have had to stay there, which would have been fine, you know. It's kind of like when we used to get together and paint. We'd have an adult beverage, and sometimes we had a second one. If we got a second one, no more painting happened. It didn't matter. It wasn't important, right? It's the party's already going on. But I had 2 or 3 beers, and I had got back to the show, and one of the guys was saying, hey, go check out so-and-so. He's got some bourbon for you. And I'm like, all right, well, I don't mind having something to sip on. And I go over there, and he's like, well, no, I'm out of bourbon. What I do have, and he pulls out this big, I swear it was 2 liters. That thing was massive. It said Russian Standard Vodka. And those guys spend 0 on advertising. It's literally like block letters. That's what it is. It's like, yeah, you can't get this anymore because of the war or whatever. And I'm like, I've never had straight vodka in my life. And I'm like, in a solo cup, I'm like, all right, pour me some. And he poured me, I don't know, maybe this much. What would that be? 4 ounces, 6 ounces, not more than 6 ounces. And I sipped on it for the next couple hours, and it sobered me up. That's strange, but, you know, I felt fine, you know. And I was in Miami, and I'm like, well, I want to pick some up because I know I'm going to be working on Russian stuff. And just to get into the spirit of things, literally, let's have some vodka. And I picked up this little award-winning Ukrainian vodka, I guess is what it is, because you can't get the Russian stuff. It doesn't really matter to me. I would have gotten Polish stuff if they had that. And I think this was $1.50, which is disconcerting how cheap it is. You know, alcohol is not expensive to make, but they tax the living shit out of it. So maybe that just, they felt bad for the Ukrainians, so they didn't put any taxes on it. I don't know. Anyhow, it's actually not, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. And you have to understand, I rarely drink. I need to drink at work. Not when I'm not at work, but it's just kind of getting in the, you know, just getting in the spirit of things. You no longer imbibe. You got too good at it? People always say, you know, oh, you got to cut out alcohol if you want to lose weight. I have no alcohol to cut out. I rarely drink. And I'm fine with that. It's a shame because I'm a lot more fun when I drink. My coworkers would definitely like me more if I drank at work. Middle of summer here has been banging down with rain for 2 days in Britain. We only know it's summer because the rain is warm. Yeah, we get rain just about every day. It's been, feels like temperatures between 110 and 120 for a couple weeks now. So, and I've got outside type of job. I'm not outside all of the time, but I'm outside enough that it's it's bad. So I definitely prefer wintertime, especially our wintertime, which is like perfect. I wouldn't care if it was colder. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind cold weather. I'm insulated enough for it. We probably all are. I'm still a gamer size medium, maybe even small. But let me not run my mouth about that. But you can always put on more clothes. I love wearing long sleeves. I can't wear them. Can't wear them here. Now I don't want to shovel anything though. What's that funny? Gamer size medium? I am. You seen how big the mothers are? And we could all lose some weight, but it's like, damn, how do you get through the door, dude? A11. I remember before I ever went to Historicon, I was reading the things on the miniatures page, because back then that was the place I would go to every morning. And they said, oh man, crossing that highway is murder. I'm expecting, like some huge, Frogger type of situation. No, it's divided highway. It's got a turn lane in the middle. You cross 2 lanes, stop in the middle, cross the other 2 lanes. What's the big deal? Well, I guess some people have a lot of trouble walking. I'm like, it's just walking, man. We all should be good at walking. We're not asking you to do, run or anything. Okay, this is piece A9, which should be this guy over here. Pull that guy off. Let's use these things. Why the hell did we buy them if we're not going to use them? It's just habit. All right. Saw a few of them in the toy show last weekend. You know what I don't understand about toy shows? And I'm fine with toy shows, but I can't imagine buying something that you like, right? And not taking it out of the package. You can take care of it, okay? Maybe not play with it. You don't have to go, ooh, you don't have to do that kind of shit, okay? But at least, look at it from all the angles and stuff like that. But just buying stuff and just leaving it in the package, like, that just doesn't make any sense. It's like, I'm going to buy comic books, but I'm not going to read them. Like, what? And the only thing I like about, I am, people can do whatever the hell they want with money. But one thing I find out really weird is don't go and get something like a toy for the collector value because it's something you're not interested in. For instance, get baseball cards if you're into baseball. We're not like, I hate baseball. I hate the game of baseball. Really? Why do you have baseball cards? Oh, just for collecting. That doesn't make any sense to me. Get stuff you like. Nobody's going to want your shit when you sell it anyways. You might as well get things that you like. But you can do whatever the hell you want with your money. That's definitely why I don't collect action figures. I don't want to play with them. Yeah. Or at least pose them somewhere. Take them out of the damn package. Speaking of action figures, one of the coolest freaking, and I've mentioned this several times before, one of the coolest games I ever saw at Historicon, I think it was in 2019. These guys they had made this G.I. Joe game, the G.I. Joe from the 1980s. And they had 3D printed all of the figures, like in 28 millimeter scale. And it was amazing. It was well done. The scenery was well done. I don't know if the rules were worth a damn, but, Mitch and I walked by there. I'm like, oh, we'd have too much fun here, But it was captivating. Yeah, Rick, why don't you collect Legos and don't build them? What's wrong with you? By the way, speaking of Legos, I know with all the Legos you have the Heroica stuff, don't you? You have the Heroica sets. I have 3. I have the main one and then 2 other ones. The Vampire one and one I think that's like a Doc or something like that. Docs or some shit like that. And I got them when my daughter was about 10. And I played with her a couple times with it. And seems like it'd be pretty easy to make the game a lot better with some house rules. But yeah, it's a simple little grindy type game. I take it you have those. You think you're missing one of them? Yeah. Well, they pulled a Games Workshop and discontinued this shit. You know? If the toy is still in the package, that's the only way you can ever display it. Once out, you can get very creative in your displays. Absolutely. You know, collecting that stuff is like people that want you to buy gold, buy gold, buy gold. Okay, so you buy gold for $100, right? And like, okay, it goes up to like $200. All right, let me sell it. And, you know, whoever's selling you whatever this item is wants to give you $25 for it. I'm like, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, people want to buy it back from you. You know, like you need to collect things that you like because you like them. Sometimes wonder why you still collect comics. How much do comics run each? $4 or $5? The thing about comics is, and I don't know much about them, other than there's a lot of them I don't like how they look. Forget the subject matter. I don't like the subject matter of most of them. Probably all of them. But some of them are just beautiful. Just beautifully drawn. Like the style of them really appeals to me. And some are like, is this still 1982? You know? So, I mean, I guess ultimately it matters what you like, but there's a lot of them out there that just don't appeal to me. Last time I looked. And comic books are extremely more nerdy than this. Sorry. There's levels of nerdiness. And you may or may not agree with, you know, my levels on there. Like I think Star Trek is infinitely more nerdy than Star Wars. Now, there's some people like Star Trek that are like, okay, you know, and then there's some people that want to dress up like a damn Jedi. Okay, well in that case, that's not the case, but you know. Okay, this has you tend towards certain artists. So there's an artist, and you'll know who this is because you collect comic books. I have to look who they are again. There's this theme park in Florida called Universal Islands of Adventure. And basically what it is a theme park with rides and all that kind of stuff. And it's divided in different areas. One of them happens to be called Superhero Island. You know, they always have, you know, they've got a downtown area you walk through. It looks like something out of like, you know, Spider-Man or Fantastic Four or whatever, with like buildings and stuff. And they've got all these huge mock-ups that I guess are like stainless steel, painted in comic book style, like, you know, Wham, like it'll have, you know, like the Thing or something like that with the other Fantastic Four, and he's like doing something. It's really well done. And as a non-comic book person, I really, really like the way a lot of that looks. And I really like the music they play during it because it's kind of, you know, it's metalish. It's 80s metalish, which I'm a fan of that. And so it's really cool. And I'm not a comic book person. And if you look at some of the places, it's an actual artist, and you can see in the corner that he's got his name scrambled. I'm like, okay, I want to find out more about this particular artist because I really like the style that these are done in, and I'm sure the rest of his comic books are probably done in the same style. So I looked this guy up, and no, the rest of the stuff that I've seen that he's done doesn't appeal to me. I don't know what it is about the style that this is done in, whether it's crisper, it's more like gloss or whatever. And his name is, I'll have to find out what his name is. His name is Adam Kubert or something like that. I'll find out who he is right now. But the stuff that he did on there, on the displays, is, I mean, literally every single one that's the different characters, I like every one of them. It's really, really well done. Adam, let's see, I think it's Kubert. American graphic novelist. Adam Kubert comic book. Let's see. Yeah, that's his name. You know what it is? A lot of the comics have in the background of them a lot of the color white. And it just doesn't seem... I don't know. I'm telling you, the displays they have at Universal Islands Adventures is like... And I'm not a comic book person. I really freaking like it. I really freaking like it. Let me see if I can pull one up here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Adam Kubert, comics, Universal Islands of Adventure. Let's see. Where's the one with the Fantastic Four? It's freaking looks cool. I got some pictures here. I'm not going to show them to you because they don't do it justice. It's really freaking cool. If you ever go there, it's really neat. And like I said, I'm not even into comic books. But the art that they did there is really good. I really like it. So I can appreciate some artists, but it's not grainy looking at all. You know, they have a ride there called Spider-Man whenever it came out, and they're always playing, like while you're waiting in line, they're always playing clips in different TVs of the Spider-Man cartoon. I guess it's from the 80s. It certainly looks that way. And I wouldn't watch that. It was just way too grainy looking and looks very, very dated. Like it's not a style, the cartoon, a style that appeals to me. So, but the graphics they have on the outside just really well done. But my daughter got into them when she was watching them, and so I'd always ask her, "Who's this? All right, and who do they the other things?" And we have what's the name of that superhero game? Not Hero Quest. What's it called? We played it for a little bit, Mitch and Luke, but the rules need to be redone. The rules need to be, we're not interested in collecting stuff. We're interested in playing. Maybe scenarios with certain groups of characters that you kind of have to use their strength. Hero clicks, that's what it is. Snapdragon. Okay, this one goes here. Adam Hughes. No, it was definitely Adam Kubert. Now that I looked at it, I really like the style that, at least in the stuff that they show there at the islands. I've thought about repainting some of the hero clicks that I have, but I don't have time for everything. The problem with superheroes is they're just, and superhero movies, I've pretty much given up on watching superhero movies, especially when they all tie into each other. It's like, oh, don't you see this is the one part that they mention a little bit in the other movie? I'm like, I can't keep track of all that stuff. It's freaking crazy. But a lot of them just have extremely shitty villains. They're just not worthy. Not evil enough or sinister or, too many, oh, they're not really evil, they're just misunderstood. Fun game, hero clicks. Dislike superheroes. You just don't like people wearing underwear on the outside of their... Yeah, I never got into it. I'm not into it. I think the game's pretty... The game has potential. The game could have potential, but I can't be into everything, you know? And I got a fair number of them. I got, I don't know, 30 or 40 of them or whatever. And it's fun to go online and see where you can find them. Like, okay, I need to get a such and such to go with my whatever. And I don't care about the collectability of them. I don't care about playing in tournaments. Not going to rush to see Blue Beetle. Didn't even know it was coming out. Not a comic book artist, but Frank Frazetta comes to mind. He did some great cover art. I bought every book that featured his art. Frank Frazetta sounds like somebody would have like barbarian women, scantily clad barbarian women. Am I right? I prefer my women with a lot less hair. Especially in the armpits. That's a design flaw on the female anatomy. Sorry. Hairy armpits. I'm out. Correct. Yeah. I don't know why it sounds like it would be, you know, like that type of thing. DC and Marvel Comics are a bit over here. Never was interested. There's something other than DC or Marvel? Yeah, I'm sure there is. I just they don't get any airplay, you know. Never heard of Blue Beetle. There's probably somebody in it that, you know who? She has the pits of a mall Santa. Alligator Alley or whatever you guys call her. Yikes. Absolutely not. How's that say? Make a train take a dirt road. Comics are dying, the movies are flopping left and right. Well, the last comic book movie that I saw or tried to watch, and I said, basically, I'm not going to watch any more comic book movies after this, was the second Doctor Strange. And the first Doctor Strange, I remember watching the preview. I'm like, this is like a bad trip, and I've never tripped on anything, so this isn't going to appeal to me. And I actually didn't dislike it, interestingly enough. Obviously, I didn't go to the movie theater to watch it. I waited for it to be available at home. But the second one, that's where I'm like, I'm done. I'm not watching another superhero movie. It's just patently absurd. The kid who played the Mexican kid on Cobra Kai, I haven't seen Cobra Kai, never liked the Karate Kid. Sorry, I'm a kid of the 80s and I didn't like the Karate Kid. Okay, this has a little sticking out. There it is. And she's going to go right down here. Let's make sure this thing fits okay. Not really. Let's enlarge this. Why do I know that? Why do I know that he was doing like the barbarian, scantily clad warrior girls? Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's better than making female characters that are just sit there and scream and don't stand up for anything, you know? A23. I mean, if I looked like some of those girls, I'd be scantily clad too. And probably wouldn't leave the house, but that's a different matter. Drink. Okay, this is steering wheel 23. Why do I have another one? Why do I have another wheel? That's 22. I won't be watching Disney Snow White. No, I don't like Disney movies. Not until they dig the old man back up. No, Bud Light always sucked. I don't care who marketed it. It was just always trash. You know? That's like saying, you know, you're never going to eat cheese puffs anymore. Like, cheese puffs always sucked. You know, Bud Light doesn't taste like anything. Heard they cast a non-white woman to play Snow White. You can do whatever they want. I also heard they did not cast actual dwarf characters. Yeah, they're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, man. I think they're just doing all this shit, you know, just to screw with people. Oh well, I'm fine not going to movie theaters anyways. Just about anything you see is just falls flat for whatever reason. You know, it's gotten so expensive. And, you know, you got to pee in the middle of the thing, so. When did Conan... You're about to embark on your 8-week Harry Potter journey. Oh, dear. I've tried to watch the first movie twice. The first time I made it 20 minutes, and the second time I made it like 12. I'm not going to attempt to watch this a third time. Those movies are definitely not geared for me. Although one thing I did find really interesting, I came across, there's a whole series of audiobooks on the Diablo lore. I had no idea. I might have to check those out. Especially since one of them is narrated by one of the characters that's in the new video game, who has an incredible voice. He's one of the local wise men, so to speak, and the actor. I'm not sure what the guy's name is, but his voice is incredible. Okay. A12 is a big old crank. Yeah, I couldn't stand watching it because I'm like, there's no physics that work in this land. I'm like, it's just too incredulous for me. What was the other movie that my daughter wanted to watch that I thought was actually okay? I didn't hate it. It was another kid's movie. Oh, the Percy Jackson one. That one was okay. Luckily, I didn't try to ever go to see Harry Potter in the movie theater. That would have been a rude awakening for me. I heard a couple months ago they're actually making a sequel to Gladiator. I, I just, I just don't see how that's going to work. I'm a big fan of the first one. It's not perfect, but as far as the stuff that Hollywood comes out with, it's as perfect as a movie like that's ever going to be. And I just can't imagine what kind of an abortion a remake of Gladiator is going to be, especially when it's called Gladiator 2. Like, dude, call it something else. The word you're looking for, Tony, is it's magic. Yeah. Smoke another bowl. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. Can't be into everything. I'd rather watch Kelly's Heroes. Wow. You just went to see the last Indiana Jones movie. I think it was the best of them all. Well, I'd ask you to take a drug test, but I think you already failed it. There's no way it's better than the first one. The first one is like the best movie ever. And I was fortunate enough to see it in the. You're driving me to drink, Kevin, saying comments like that. How could it be better than the first one? I'm not watching it in the movie theater. But you're entitled to your own opinion. The third one was pretty solid. The fourth one's so bad it made the second one seem good. Sequels, unlike video games, the first one's almost always better in a movie. Almost always. There's exceptions. I'd still argue the first Alien is better than Aliens. It's close. Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark, easily my favorite movie, period. It's not perfect. They could have put something in there instead of that stupid RPG. Oh, no. But other than that, and just to tell you how good of a movie Raiders of the Lost Ark is, I don't find Karen Allen attractive in any which way. And I still think, and I'm sorry, having an attractive female in a role is kind of important if you're into that. So even when not having that, it's an excellent movie. Murder and extreme violence for kids. Depends what it's showing. It depends how small the kids are. I really don't have much of a problem with violence as long as it's, it shows you gotta fight bad people. Sometimes bad people gotta be killed, you know? Sorry. I think that's a positive message. You just can't sit around and just hoping things get better. Sometimes, you gotta take people out. And they brought it on themselves. They're evil. They're trying to enslave the world, whatever. There's some folks you can't compromise with. Too many movies now are too much gray area. Like, well, are they really evil? I said, yes, they're freaking evil. They're not evil. They're bad actors. What kind of horseshit is that? There's some bad folks out there. I got an alert on my phone. I don't know if they have it everywhere, but here, at least in Florida, it's like missing child in, Daytona Beach or whatever. Well, I still get the alert. I can't take the alert off, but I can make it not make a sound. But my wife's phone was just going nuts. I'm like, why notify me? What am I supposed to do? Are we gonna do like a manhunt? Because let's go hunt a child molester. Let's go find them and string them up. But why are you bothering me at 4 o'clock in the morning if you're not gonna let me take part in a manhunt for a bad person? Phone Waller Bridge is so. Never heard of it. Okay. Well, I'm not permanently putting this guy in that seat. He's going to be removable because when he gets taken out by a rifle, I'm like, dude's not there anymore. Dead commie, he's not around anymore. Okay, we got some other parts to put up here. A24. Phoebe Waller Bridge is so. I don't know why you guys struggle with spell check so much. Just turn it off. I turn mine off because I end up texting a lot to my mom, or enough that, and it's in another language. So imagine having a conversation and every single word is corrected for you. So that doesn't work really well for me, having that thing on. Spell checks doesn't also solve the most annoying things that I find. And that is when people use an apostrophe S to pluralize something. That is like there's a special place in hell for you. There is a special place in hell for people that use an apostrophe, boxes. Plural of boxes. BOX apostrophe S. Yes, I've seen it. I've seen multiple people do it. It's not somebody being a stupid American. There's dumb people all over the world. Some of them reside in Essex. All over the world. Just some people just don't even care. It's like Phoebe Cates. It wasn't until about a year ago that I finally got around to seeing Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and I'm wondering what was the big deal about it. But I guess people's expectations of different things, change. Yeah, that one happens so often. I make spelling mix when I type. I make spelling mistakes because I'm typing. I'll do I'll write like the fruit orange all the time. All the letters are there. I just get the N and the R in the wrong place. So I would prefer to handwrite because I don't make any mistakes when I handwrite. It's not that I'm perfect. It's just that I put importance on what your spelling looks like. Because you see somebody else and I'm like, man, their spelling sucks. I don't want to be that guy. Well, you remember, don't be a shitty speller. We all give ourselves whatever importance it is to what we choose to excel at, and maybe not interest in other things, So. Okay, that little piece goes there, and A14. Did we not pull A14 out? To the gulag with you. A14. Nope, we didn't. Have to turn off spell check as it's US based. It tells me the world is spelt wrong, not in Britain. Not in Britain, it ain't. Yeah, I run into that all the time. Like, I prefer, this is the part where Jack gets upset with me. Nah, he doesn't. I prefer American pronunciation, almost always, but I prefer British spelling. Armor needs to have a U in it, especially armor. Armor, U. It's spelled wrong, sorry. Armor looks right with a U in it. Also color. But especially armor. Especially if you're talking about tanks. Tanks need to have a U in their name. Armor. Boxes is correct if you use the possessive. Yay, but they're not going to. That's not how they're using it. I die a little every time I see it. So I got about a week to go. I see it all the time. All the time. The problem isn't they're using it into possessive. The problem is they're spelling it that way and then using it as a pluralization. Okay, where is this last? Oh, it goes there? That's an odd place for it. And they got all those range finders and stuff on there, almost like they could fire the real gun with all these little pieces. All right, now we get to build. I don't know why this only has one seat. Maybe you get around to the other one later on. Let's just follow the instructions it says, blindly off the cliff. Mr. Eric, I hate the way people use the word decimated. I'm never around educated enough people to use that word. I don't like when people use firstly. It just seems weird. Due to Microsoft on the computers at school, we are now accepting U.S. spelling, such as Colorado. Well, that's a state. You have to accept that even if you're writing in Russian. Okay, John Peter, thanks for stopping by. Don't be a stranger. Yeah, armor just it should have a U in it. End of story. And that's a word I actually use quite a bit because, you know, my building, liking the building, it's okay. Their plastic seems to be pretty brittle. What's the last time the Russians built something really, really well? I'm still waiting. I was reading something about the T-34, and supposedly they broke down all the time too. The problem is they had so damn many of them that you wouldn't know. And then you had to compare against German shit, which also broke down a lot. Yeah, there's some fine detail on here, like really, really fine detail. Oh, I guess you can't see it if I have over there. Funnier or more funny? Yes. What it is? I know several people that have supposedly a piece of the Berlin Wall. Not a very happy thing to have a picture of, you know. It's like, here's a trinket from Treblinka or something like that. Maybe that's a little too extreme, but it's not exactly something that's a very happy occasion. All right, we got A6. 1, 2, 3. We have two A6s. Just two wheels back here. And the ones at the other end actually have I'm going to pull them all out. They're going to need them here in a moment anyways. My favorite models so far to put together are not necessarily in this order. That's too big an ask right now. You're such a big ask. Is S model, Trumpeter. Although Trumpeter doesn't have open hatches, so I have to zonk them for that. As what's his name would have said. Trumpeter S model, Revell of Germany. That Panzer IV is beautiful. And Plastic Soldier Company. Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty good. They're not balanced well. Something about them is just they cut like a dream though. They cut like a dream. I'm glad you talked me into getting them. Now I need to talk you into getting them. I mean, they're so sharp that you can't even hear them snap. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. You're not putting a lot of effort, so it doesn't fly all over God's green earth. 2 a.m. here. Ah, you could be up all night. You got nowhere to be. I wouldn't be worth it. I couldn't stay up till 2. I'd have to wake up at 2. That could work, but staying up till 2, that's yeah. Well, thanks for coming by, Jack. Appreciate you. Our cousins across the pond. One of these days, maybe I'll get a chance to go to Europe. We'll see. It's just so damn difficult. We'll see if we get to go this year after all. But unfortunately, England can't be on this tour. It'll have to be on the next one. So I want to do one of those whiskey tastings or whatever things. Scotland, Ireland. F it, do both. 2 a.m. The Twilight Zone. What was that crazy show that they used to play at night? And the only reason I know that is because for the longest time, my 5 a.m. wake up call was actually 4 a.m. I used to wake up at 4 a.m. before I go to work, paint for a couple hours, then get ready to go to work. Coast to Coast AM. Some of that stuff, I swear, must be just made up. There's no way that people believe in that kind of ridiculous stuff. I don't know. You're going all the way to England just for one friend. Is she Asian? Or is she blonde? Yes. Well, I'd ask you what the new Indiana Jones movie is about, but I don't want to know. It's got some Nazis in there at some point, so that helps. Nazis make a great antagonist. Pretty much nobody's better than the Nazis at that. I tend to play video games where you're either killing Nazis or demons. So I'm good with either one of them. Unless you got a sex change and change his hair color, no. Well, that's a thing. rolling papers. Or is this it? This is it. Rolling papers. Yeah, that'll be the day. Celtic wife? Is it a redheaded Celtic wife? I know. Is there any other kind? Let's close this up. Well, we're not going to be able to get both guns done tonight. And I think I'm going to be lucky to get this one done, but not the crew. Hey, shit happens. Red hair and she's quite feisty. Aye! Never dated a redhead. Got nothing against them. There's some super cute ones. You know, there's people that seek out redheaded women. Are there women that seek out redheaded men? If they do, it's probably a smaller group. I'm just guessing. I don't know. It's not my problem. I'm not dyeing my hair. Yes, I believe so. Not that I watched that. I believe he was. A16. Oh, that's this Joker right here. Okay, let's see how the fit and finish is on this. Oh, that's on there pretty tight. We're going to leave it alone. I'm not going to glue it in place. I'm not going to replace it with a magnet. I think we're good. I think we're golden. Okay, the ace sevens. Go out here. Didn't they make a live action Archie thing? I don't know. I don't watch TV. They could do all kinds of things. I wouldn't know. Okay, this is the one that goes on that one. This is the one that goes on the other one. Oh, interesting. Actually the same. I mean, this seems like it doesn't even fit in there. And that's what they want me to do. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, they don't. If you look at pictures of them online, you think, what's the big deal about these things? But it's they can come in and they can cut something without damaging anything else. And they're sharp as all get out. So let's say I got to cut one of these figures out. Let me zoom this thing in. Okay. Let's say I want to take this guy. It looks like he's got a stick up his butt. Get this guy out. So you look at it like this, and it's like, it's not very impressive. It's not very impressive at all, but let's look at the profile of it. And it's really, really thin. So you can just come in here and go, boop. You know, it just comes off really, really easy. You look at this, you'll see pictures of them online. Like, what's the big deal about these cutters? They're not that impressive. They're not thin. I was expecting like a really long blade or something like that. You know, you compare these to like this, they're not that different. But if you look at the profile and you look at the profile of this, you know, you just cut with this part right here, you can really get in and out really easy. This thing's so rough, it looks like I made it in shop class. That guy has nubs for feet. Yeah, we're going to put him on a penny. So I'm pretty happy with them. They seem a little off balance, and mainly I'm worried I don't get any part of my skin in here when I go and tighten them down, because it would pinch you. It's, you know, but other than that, they're perfect. I highly recommend them. I don't think they're ever going to need to be sharpened, and I don't want to replace them. You know, there's no point in not taking care of things that you got. Yeah, they're really pretty amazing. But the pictures of them that you see online, I don't think they really do them justice. Maybe if somebody did like an actual video, like an unboxing video of the cutters, but they cut really, really well. But I think there's a disclaimer in there. You can only use them on Tamiya models. I'll let you use them on DML models. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to put the part holding the gun up yet. Is there only one way for it to go like this? There may only be one way for it to go. Well, let me not glue it in case that when it's in the firing position, it may end up having to be laid down or something like that. And I got some kind of thing sticking straight up at the wrong time. I'm scared to use these cutters on photo etch. I'm not going to. Okay, we got bottoms A5. Well, there's multiple A5s. Okay. I really like the photo etch sprue stuff. All leftover photo etch parts, we're gonna save that like it's not being made anymore. That's just really handy to make little things out of. So if we can finish putting all this stuff together, then we'll call it a night. I'm fairly tired myself. You need to get a pair of Nordic is something we've been saying for a long time. Get them! If you can't grow a pair, go buy some. Get you a pair off Amazon. Two. Got a name, a pair of fists that you have with your name written all over them. In this corner. Okay. So these guys get installed like so underneath. It's actually not going to be able to roll on the wheels, which is just fine. I just don't want it. Yeah, don't put that in the vodka. It won't work as well. You're in the heavyweight class, so you're gamer medium then. Gamer size medium. I can't imagine getting into a fight as an adult. Is that like a thing? Okay, well that fits on there nicely. Needs a gun shield, but we don't spend money on gun shield. We have meat shield. Woo! And then we got 4 of these little pieces. I need to start my diet. I really don't want to. Hold on, let me go buy. There you go. I already lost 1.5 pounds. That's right. Probably glue these on, and with a sharp X-Acto knife blade after it's glued on, we can do the final trimmings of this. Like I've done with other small parts. Seems to work pretty well. You don't have to put a whole lot of horsepower behind it. Let the blade do its thing. It is a towable piece. Yes. I'd like to get one of those little Cosmolets tractors. Those things are cute. Or maybe that's the Stalinets one. I'm talking about the one that's like square. It's like they took like a. It looks like they took like a bulldozer and really closed it up. And it's fully tracked. Nice thing is you tow this, you put it where you want, and you don't have to ever rotate it again. It's got 360-degree arc of fire. Okay. And this supposedly attaches here, but it's dangling off this. Let's not put that on there yet. I think that's it. I think this is all the pieces to it. There's a couple like extra hand cranks, piece 22. Oh, there it is. So I never installed it. Shame on me. Shame, 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 shame. Woo! Nope, I shouldn't have grabbed that, because now that fell off. Okay, now we're done with this thing. They want me to put this up straight in the air, but I better see some photographic evidence before I go and leave it something like this, and it just ends up looking wrong. But that can be for another night. The link I sent you to Amazon for those clippers, is that the one you purchased? Yeah, it's the whatever these thin things are. I still have the package. Here it is. 123. That's the thing you remember. 123. Sharp pointed side cutter. 123 is the item number. Yeah, I believe they were $24.99. Made all in Japan. Just like my car. Yeah. Okay, folks. Well, thanks for stopping by. We'll catch you guys in the next one.